What's good, y'all? If you tapped in, you already know who I am. If not, my name is Caleb Jarrell. Focus on becoming stable. Now, as y'all recognize, I didn't just say financially stable. I'm talking about being financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You have to be well rounded. You have to aim to be well rounded as an individual, especially as a man. You feel me? So I feel like as men, our main things is focusing on the money. But it's like when you only focus on the money and you don't focus on being stable in the other areas, how long is that money gonna last? What you gotta understand about life is the fact that the way you do things in one area trickles into the other area and it falls into a different category. So, for example, one of the main things that I'm very strict on is working out. Why am I strict on working out? Because I understand when my body is right, when I take care of myself, when I focus on eating the right things, when I focus on knocking out my workouts, when I focus on doing my cardio, it's like it's that much easier to be focused and disciplined and consistent in every other area of my life. So that allows me to be completely focused on my business. That allows me to be completely focused on my finances and growing my spiritual and emotional. So it's like you have to be intentional with working on these different areas in your life. And the goal is to become stable. You can't be comparing yourself to other people because some of these other people would be neglecting these areas. And it's like, cool, you make a lot of money, but how good is your mental? How good is your physique? You feel me? How good are your relationships? So the goal needs to be to focus on becoming stable overall, not just financially. So the things that you can do is focus on an area, give you 2 or 3 tasks and goals that you knock out every day. So boom, financially, if I want to be right and stable financially, okay, what's one task that I can already knock out? Boom, let me get a job. Whether it be a 9 to 5 job, whether it be a business, you feel me? My advice when it comes to 9 to 5 income is if you feel like you want to be in business, you feel like you want to work for yourself, you feel like that's part of your purpose, okay, cool. Take that money that you're making from your 9 to 5 job, boom, invest it in what you need to do. Whether it's content, whether it's being a barber, whether it's starting your own, whatever, you feel me? It's all up to you to do what you want to do. But you always have to understand we all got to start somewhere. Me personally, I started at Domino's. As y'all know, if you've been following me and keeping up with me, I was delivering pizza for Domino's for a year. It took me a year and 2 months exactly to quit my job. And in my defense, I really didn't have no option. Um, I left my job at a point where they were trying to make me manager, but my first week in my business went so good, it was like it didn't make sense to stay there. You feel me? And that may be something that people don't understand, but I'm like, you know what? If my first week went good, it ain't gonna do nothing but get better, and that's all it can do. You feel me? Because I knew the things that I put into it. I knew the focus that I put into it. I knew the investments that I was making while I was at this job. So boom, the first task is find a way to make income. The second task is to learn how to manage. How do you manage what's coming in? So sit down, see all your bills that you have. You feel me? If you have your own crib, if you have your own car, if you have these bills that you have to take care of, which are essentially responsibilities, it's up to you to pay them. Because guess what? If you don't, rent still due on the first, so it don't matter. So the reason you want to become stable is because you don't have to rely on other people to provide the things that you need to be well off in life, to live a comfortable lifestyle. You don't have to live lavish 24/7. You feel me? Especially as men, we pretty simple. As long as we got the little things that we need, the basic things that we need, and we can have a little fun here and there with some toys or, some of y'all with some girls and different things like that, then we cool. With our loved ones, being able to buy things that we want, then we cool. But what we tend to do is we make life way more complicated than what it is. But if you focus on doing the little things and the simple things, it's just like basketball. The simple things, following through with your shot. Just like football, the simple things. Lineman, your splits matter. Quarterback, your cadence matters. The releasing your stance as a receiver. So it's like the little things matter to get the outcome that you want. So that's where our focus has to be. Okay, boom, we got the income. Boom, now we got to sit down and learn how to manage it. All right, bet. I know I got this income that's coming in. So let me sit down when I get paid and go over my income, go over my bills, go over the things that has to come out. So boom, if you already know you're making $4,000 a month, okay, cool. Your bills may be $1,500, $2,000. So half of your income already going back out. All right, so what am I going to do with the other half? Am I going to trick it off, or am I going to sit down and invest it? Invest it in my business. Invest it in knowledge. Invest it in getting around people and doing the things that I need to do. Getting around the right people. People that allow me to grow. People that help me grow and assist me in growing. And what you have to do is invest in your program. Your program is your life, your world, the way that you live life throughout the day. So be willing to invest in certain things that's going to better that program in that world. Does that make sense? So boom, you got the first two tasks out the way. How do you manage? Like I said, sit down, look at your numbers. It's the same thing when it comes to business. I know one thing, when I was at Domino's, the managers used to go in the office, and I noticed because I used to watch what they do. That's one thing I will say that's important. Watch what the people do that's in better positions than you, that's in higher positions than you, that may be in places that you want to get to. So boom, I used to watch the managers when we closed. Boom, they go in the office. Okay, what are they doing in the office? They going through the numbers at the end of the night, because they got to see, okay, boom, we spent this much to get our product in. We spent this much to get the things that we need. So now when we make money, we have to continue to invest or continue to manage and maintain the lifestyle or the things that we need to do. So you got to look at your life like a business. So boom, you learn how to manage. You sit down, you look at the numbers. You see what's coming in, you see what's going out, and then you take what's left and put it into things that's going to bring back a return. Or you take things and invest it in your health, invest it in your mental. Start reading books, start working out, get in the boxing gym, different things like that. And it's whatever makes your life and your program better for you. Your program may be different than my program. The way I run my program may be different than your program, but find out what works for you. So like I said, focus on becoming stable. Focus on managing it. Boom, you got the income. Boom, you learn how to manage. Number 3, maintain. Stay focused and maintain. Because it's so easy to go throughout life and start accomplishing things and getting comfortable. You start letting random people get around you, people that are detrimental, or you start picking up bad habits that are detrimental. And guess what? Now we giving access to things and allowing things to break us down, allowing things to throw us off the path, allowing things to throw our focus off. And don't get me wrong, life is going to throw things at you. But where we mess up in life is we focus on just letting life happen to us instead of trying to focus on the areas that we can't control in life. So you have to do these things to stay in a focused mindset. You have to maintain what you built. Okay, boom, if I built a great physique, okay, just because I built it doesn't mean that I'm going to have it the rest of my life if I just trick it off. If I just fall off, if I stop doing the disciplines and the consistency that got me there. Guess what? If I think that way, it's going to take me a month or two to gain 20 pounds. It's going to take me a month or two to get fat. You feel me? It's going to take me a month or two to get out of shape. So boom, once you hit that goal, once you become financially stable, once you become stable overall, you have to do things to maintain it. Stop getting around bad influences. Stop getting around people that don't want you to be better in life. They get jealous by the things that you're doing, the things that you're accomplishing. because that does nothing but stunt growth. And people will try to downplay your growth and your success and the things that you accomplish because they want you to stoop down to the level that they're at. But when you get that, that's when you understand, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm making the right decisions. I'm getting around the right people. So focus on becoming stable financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. But in order to do that, you have to pour into these areas. You can't expect things to grow if you're not pouring into them. You have to look at people that are in positions that you want to be in life and find out the things that they're doing and then apply the things that they're doing. So sometimes we have great examples right in front of us, but we don't do the things that are going to get us there. Boom, I'm watching people that inspire me as far as making content, as far as posting on YouTube. What are they doing? What did it take for them to get there? Dang, you said you was posting every day. You said you was posting every other day, 4 or 5 times out the week. Boom, you said you've been in the gym 4 or 5 times out the week. Okay, if I've been going one, let me correct myself. Let me deep dive even more. Let me get to that level of consistency, of discipline. And that's how you get there. But what are you willing to do to get there? That's the thing. Sometimes we think to work too hard. So we have extreme expectations, but poor applying, poor application. So pour into the things that you need to pour into so you can become stable overall in every area. And like I say all the time, anything that you want to grow, you got to feed it. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. On the road to 1,000 subs.